but you haven't seen the beautiful face. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry.
Oops, sorry.
You're good.
What's up, everybody? Hi, my Vibrant Beauties. It's your girl, Lette here. I'm back, your favorite self-care coach, and I'm here with, you might have heard the voice, but you haven't seen the beautiful face. You know what I'm saying? And we are here to talk about self-care and Pride Month 2021. It's my co-host from Let's Be Crystal Clear, Crystal.
Hey.
I don't remember what we used to say.
Oh.
By the way, we are coming back.
It was a welcome one.
Welcome all. Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first episode in my series of just different topics during the month. So this is, like I said, this is all about Pride because it is Pride Month. So I decided to bring my lovely co-host on because she is within the community. We're going to get her insight, and I'm going to ask her questions about just her experience and what she knows and who she is, because she is an amazing person to me.
That sounds so nice.
Girl, bye. And we sip. Crystalla. Listen, you could already tell. If you listen to the podcast, you should already know we are fools, okay?
Since day one.
And I'm over here sweating like a stripper in church. Like,
she's a stripper. Duh, duh, duh. And this is my. Let me stop. YouTube copyright. Let me stop.
I don't even know that song, so you better than me. To start off, Miss Crystal.
Yes.
What does self-care mean to you?
I would say self-care means, number one, taking the time to do things for yourself that like fill you up, whether it be like emotionally, spiritually, or even mentally. Like take the time to do those things that make you feel like you're growing and progressing. You know, progress makes you happy. So research says.
Researching at your own experience, huh?
Well, you know, struggle bus sometimes.
Hey, we all struggle.
And I would say the second thing is awareness, self-awareness. I think is the part of self-care that people forget, because you're not going to always be able to be zen all the time. So there's going to be times when your life is out of balance. So you have to be self-aware enough to know you need to increase your self-care in whatever realm you need to heal.
Just like now with this Mercury retrograde, probably.
Is that what's going on? Because girl, let me tell you, I broke my glasses.
You seen the events before this video, okay? Let me just tell you, struggle bus times 20, okay? She saw it firsthand. I'm just like, you know what? Elaborating or getting more in depth in what you explained as self-care to you. What are 3 tips you can provide to our audience? Like, what are 3 self-care tips you can give from your perspective?
I would say, number 1, do what makes you happy. And let me specify, because a lot of people say do what makes you happy, but I'm going to say the little things that make you happy. Like, for example, I was, in a relationship where I was very stifled, and I do accents and I make goofy faces, and I like to sing in the car to the songs, and it's just like, those are those little things that make you feel like you. Those are those little things that pull you out of your head and bring you back into the real world. So it's like, when I say do things that make you happy, I mean all the things. Like, for some people, it's just daydreaming for 5 or 10 minutes. Other people, it's like 5-second dance party. Whatever it is that makes you happy, basketball, whatever.
Mine is dancing with food. Hey, you know.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. But yeah.
Do what makes you happy. What's the other 2?
I would say be around people that make you happy. Cause like, let me just keep it a buck. People always like to say, oh, you have all these obligations and you have to deal with these people and do these activities with like either coworkers, families, or whatever. I'm not talking about like cutting people off, but like when you realize you need to take time for yourself, and it's okay to be like, I don't want to see so and so because we're at this point in our relationship. I don't want to deal with them. I shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
Or even when you're coworkers, just because you're coworkers don't mean you need to talk to each other. Emails are fantastic.
Y'all are coworkers, not friends.
Okay. Emails are fantastic.
And what's the third one?
Go on an adventure, man. That's what I would say. Like, do something that pulls you totally out of your comfort zone. It doesn't always have to be like traveling to some country or doing some extreme sport. Sometimes it could be as simple as getting in front of a camera and putting it on the internet.
She's calling me out, y'all.
Myself,
listen, Linda.
Myself included. I do.
Honey, how does self-care within the sexuality realm, what does like, how does that tie into it for you? How does self-care tie into into sexuality for you?
I think it comes with like being able to express yourself with like sexual energy. And what I mean by that, I'm just going to use somebody as an example. I don't know if you've seen Chloe Bailey's Instagram, but
I love me some Chloe, Chad.
Right.
Come on, come
so
through,
there
my
was
good
like,
sis.
but there was like this whole controversy about her being like, you know, sexual and this is inappropriate.
She's a young woman. She's 23 years old.
But my point is, this is a girl who's expressing that sexual energy. She's expressing her sexuality. So, you know, part of being happy is expressing yourself however you see fit, as long as it's legal and with consenting adults. You can express yourself however you want. And especially like talking about pride and everything, like a lot of people might have issues still to this day with people saying, for example, my orientation is bisexual. A lot of people are like, oh, that's fake. They have all these misconceptions, but it's just like, if you think about even yourself, you can appreciate something that's beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't have to turn you on, but you can appreciate it. Or someone can be attractive to you, but it not be sexual. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. People act like you can't like more than one thing. It's always like, if I like men, I can't like women.
Yeah.
If I like women, I can't like men.
So basically, be true to yourself, okay?
All day, every day.
That's
I feel like I went on a
self-care tip.
tangent.
You kind of did, but you know,
I don't know. I'll reel it back in.
it's all right. Like you said, it is Pride Month. What does pride mean to you?
To me, it's being able to celebrate the fact that you do have rights, you do have a say, and it's an opportunity for you to showcase, you know, what it is about your community that's special, that's different. You know what I'm saying? And it's an opportunity to invite people to learn about your, you know, about pride, about LGBTQ plus, and etc.
It's a lot of letters and mathematical symbols.
Alphanumeric.
Yeah, there you go.
Like
Alphanumeric. There you go. It's a lot going on. I'm not judging. I'm just saying that was,
no, I'm saying
like when I was growing up, like I was telling her off camera, when I was growing up, it was just LGBT. That was it.
Yeah.
But now I get a lot of them, but a lot of them I'm just like, that is a lot to say in a sentence. Okay, it really is. Like, can I just say the community? Is that okay?
I think saying the community is fine. You know what I mean? Because it's like you're including everyone who would identify as part of the community. You know what I'm saying? I can't honestly say I know every single letter of the like what's all in there, what everything means. That's ridiculous. There's no way you could know, especially since people are freer now than ever to be exactly who they are. And nobody's one-dimensional. Everybody has these layers to them, these dimensions, and they just happen to take their sexuality and just express themselves. You know what I mean? Like, this is, you know, what this is who I am. This is who I love. But, you know, it doesn't take away from normal people stuff.
Do you know any of the history behind why Pride was started?
Yes, I actually do.
I want to hear this. What is
I
the
don't
history?
remember specific dates because I smoke a lot of weed.
Hey.
Um,
Hey, things happen, and we're getting older. Memory ain't the same.
So, I remember watching the Netflix documentary Marsha P. Johnson, which I would recommend to everybody. But in it, they talk about Marsha P. Johnson and some other folks who played a pivotal role in the Stonewall riots, because that's where it comes from, in New York. There's this bar where the people were allowed to be, they could dress in drag, they could be gay, lesbian, whatever, in this bar. But this bar is also, like mob owned. So, these people are paying kickbacks just to be themselves and not be harassed by the police. But the police would still come in and raid the place and arrest people. So basically what happened, like I said, I don't remember the exact date, but what ended up happening is the police came into to do a raid, and they were like, no, we're tired of it. And they literally had a riot. Like, they were really trying to keep the police out. Like, they were like fired, like riot, cars overturned, all that kind of stuff. And that was the beginning of them organizing, saying, you know what, I'm tired of this. We're being killed in the streets. We gotta pay the mob. We getting arrested by the police. We're getting harassed by our,
family, friends,
society at large. It's like they decided to take that moment and fight back. And the craziest part is that people that I identify as transgender were like at the forefront. And I know I can't remember her name, but she was right there with Marsha P. Johnson. She even did like a speech, and they even ran something, I want to say it was called the Star House, where they would actually like take in, LGBT youth and give them a place to stay and things like that. Because, in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even in the early 2000s and now, if you came out that way and your family was against it, they would boot you out. So for them, this was a life or death thing. It wasn't, just because like, oh, I just want to, make out with girls at the bar. No, this was, my friends are dying. This is our community being beaten. We are committing crimes just to survive because no one will hire us. So it was a life or death thing. So
having technical difficulties with my lip.
Stop it.
Since you talked about coming out, how did you come out to your family or friends? Or did they already know?
They alright, so of course people use like stereotypes or whatever, saying I was a tomboy, and they all were like, oh my gosh, you're probably gay. When in reality, I wasn't into men, women, nothing. Like, I was a kid and I was doing schoolwork. Even up until late high school, I was still schoolwork, whatever. So for me, it was like, I didn't really even come out until way later into adulthood. And it was just kind of like, finally, first I had to come out to myself, which is weird. Nobody ever really talks about that, but you have to have that come out to yourself.
Oh, elaborate. Elaborate a little bit.
So like, coming out to yourself is when you accept that fact, that attraction that you have.
You.
Exactly. Accept that, you're like, I like women. Like, they're fine as hell. But anyway, once you come out to yourself and you make peace with that, you start to talk about it. And once you start talking about it, you start telling like close friends and everything like that. But my immediate family could care less. Like, they're very open-minded, and they're like,
yeah, you told me you told me some stories.
Yeah, they're crazy.
They're very open. Let's just say that, okay? Which we love, because we love parents who just love you for you and don't care.
Right.
I mean, they care. You could say they don't care that you are, but they care about you.
Right.
So,
you come out to like, I came out like mainly to like my family, and then like my close friends, and then it was just like, if there was someone who I hadn't had the conversation with, I'd be like, I like girls, right? And they'll be like, oh yeah, okay, cool, whatever. But it wasn't like, I'm pretty
sure that people have, I know this is stereotypical of me saying, but I feel like you have gaydar. I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I do.
Here's why I'm gonna say we're not going there.
Okay.
Because here's the thing. It's not about gaydar. It's just about watching a person and being able to see where their eyes linger.
Or,
you know what I mean? Or
being able to see them, period.
Yeah, and paying attention. Like, if you see a lady and she's checking out other ladies, obviously, or a man checking out other men, or someone who's checking out everybody.
Yeah. What's one thing you wish you would have known before coming out? Is there anything that you can think back to, like, before you came out, what's one thing you would have wished and told yourself back then? That it's, like, you know how people say things I wish I would have told my younger self, or what I would tell my younger self now that I know what I know?
I would have told my younger self, like, when people used to be like, oh my gosh, because, and that's kind of what the issue is too. I guess your conflict is because people are constantly saying, oh, you're gay, blah, 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 you're gay. And I'm like, but I like men, so I can't be just gay,
Yeah.
And then, people down the whole being bisexual thing. So it's like,
they just say bisexuals are greedy. And I'm just like, I feel like you like who you like, but it is what it is.
But I would say, like, the hardest thing is, I would have just told her, yo, like, you like chicks, whatever, who cares about the whole gay thing? I would have said, like, you liking women changes nothing about you.
Yeah.
Because that's what people like to say. It's like the minute people find out that you have something different, and it doesn't have to just be orientation, it could be all types of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Say you have a disabled relative, or you had a parent that commits suicide. It's like all types of things that just make you different from everyone else.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you get that, and then you get treated differently.
That's their fears. Their fears projected onto you. It has nothing to do with you.
This is true, but
that's
it's
their
like,
insecurities and their own thoughts and their own personal beliefs, and they're trying to project it onto you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but like the one thing I would tell myself is like, yo, man, you like who you like, and you can do whatever you want to do and put your mind to. Like, live. Basically, let your freak flag fly. That's what I would tell anyone.
I've heard her say this before too.
I'm a firm believer. When that little commercial came out, I don't even know if y'all remember. It was like a little Chevy ad or whatever, and there's this little red critter. He was sitting next to this guy, and it was like a little red puppet, and he was like, "I'm letting my freak flag fly,
damn." Oh Lord.
And we're back.
What is the biggest lessons you've learned, or a lesson you've learned after coming out?
I would say in general, I'm more at peace with myself. I can actually like express my sexuality because I accept all of myself, and that's a blessing.
Amen.
Because I don't care what anybody says, what you look like, what you wear, what you do. Everyone should be allowed to feel sexy. That's an adult. I said what I said.
I feel sexy with heels on. I feel sexy with perfume on. I don't know. It's something about just putting on perfume. You just feel so. I know that wasn't nothing to do with what you was talking about, but
no, that
everybody had right. Whatever you do, whatever you do to feel sexy, go for it.
Exactly. And it's like, it's like, how could you truly be in tune with yourself and be having, and this is, I guess, something I would like to say. Please be in charge of your own orgasm. Please don't give your orgasm to someone else. Like, you be in charge.
And I've heard this
have the best
before.
sex ever. It's like, I feel like everyone should be having the best sex ever. And to do that, you have to accept all of yourself. You know?
I've seen someone say you should never put your orgasm on another person. If they have no, but if they have the right, I know I'm going off on a tangent, but if they're hitting that right spot and then they move, you tell them to go back and keep it right there. Okay. You're letting them know that, hey, this is a spot that's gonna come out. Just saying. But
the more you know.
No, I'm just saying. Okay, and what advice would you give someone trying to come out to the people they love, or advice to be their true selves?
First of all, come out when you feel like it, if you want to. And personally, I don't think you need to have like this whole like expose, like, yes,
let's sit down, we need to talk,
or make a video about it. It literally could be as simple as going to your friend and going, hey, so I'm gay, I'm whatever it may be. Or it may even be, like presenting as you truly feel, on the first day of school, whatever it may be. But it doesn't have to be this big thing. I think that's kind of the problem. People, turn all types of stereotypes into or I would say others into stereotypes, and those stereotypes are monoliths. So now it's like, to be the right type of gay, to be the right type of lesbian, to be the right type of transgender, you have to do this, this, and this. And I'm like, that's just as bad as people telling you have to be straight. It's like, what's the difference? And I'm just like, live your life. Do you. That's part of your dreams. That's part of pride. And that's what I like about it, is like you get exposed to the actual reality that it's a variety of people with thoughts, beliefs, all types of things. It's people.
Yeah.
It's different people. We're all different. But we have this one thing in common we're super dope, we're super hype about.
And what would you tell someone who feel like they can't come out? And who would you advise them to tell? Like, if you feel like they can't come out to their family, who would you advise them to tell?
I mean, honestly, it's like, if you feel the need to tell, I would say tell that person that really cares about you and is level-headed. Let me rephrase this one more time. Tell the person that really cares about you and that is level-headed. Meaning you can drop a bomb on them and they're not just going to freak out just because you dropped a bomb on them. Because some people can't deal with stuff. Deal with stress. You could just be like, hey, I'm pregnant, and they lose their mind. Or, hey, man, I got in a car accident. Oh, my God. And you're like,
you okay? What's going on?
Yeah, don't tell that friend. That friend is not going to do right. Like that.
We all have a few of those.
Right. So I would say, tell somebody who, you can have a good dialogue with, someone that you trust. And, someone who, not necessarily is going to be just like coddling you, but you want to be able to tell somebody who can articulate and respond back to you to not make you feel like an alien.
Yeah.
You need somebody who's like, okay, cool. What do you want to do now? Or, do you want to talk about it? I mean, or you just want to keep it pushing. Yeah.
Yeah. Who or what are some resources that helped you along the way? It can be a person or people, or it can be just things you found on your own.
I would say a lot of it came from like friends. And people who were living their lives like out, or even just people who are heterosexual. Anybody who is just like straight up just living their life to their fullest and being supportive, they were very helpful. YouTube helps a lot. Like, holy Moses, you can learn a lot on YouTube. There's some really cool YouTubers. I still watch Amber's Closet. They just happen to be lesbians because I'm a girl. So I feel like they're lesbians. So
I like Amber's Closet. I followed her and her. I don't know if that's her ex or still. Listen.
I'm sure there's a YouTube video about it.
No.
Right? Don't give me the lion.
Yeah. And then what was her? Her friend was androgynous.
Ari?
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say because she was on like Real World or Bad Girls Club or something. I remember her on some reality show, and then I found her on YouTube, and I'm just like, oh, that's your girl from such and such and such and such. I don't know if it was Real World or what, but
yeah, I remember that. And Jade Fox.
So those are
hilarious.
Those are the resources. So those must be the 3 people who influenced you.
I don't know about influence as much as
helped.
Yes.
Resource.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah. As far as influence.
Yeah. Who are 3 people who have been most influential to you? It can be just people in your life. It doesn't have to be people in the community. It just
3 people that are influential to me. Thurgood Marshall.
Okay.
Because I'm in law school, and he's like one of the main reasons I am in law school. Brown versus the Board of Education, Know Your History.
Yeah, this panorama has kept us away, as well as her law school. I'm just saying, we coming back though. I'm gonna keep plugging. We coming back.
That's right. Lady, baby, cat, cool
you know,
kids will know.
You know. you know me.
That's
but
right.
the Thurgood Marshall.
Who else?
Like when you just think about your day, you be like, okay, I can hear a word from this person, and I'm good. And let me do the what? Who do this? No.
I don't know which one.
You know the hood dudes be like,
if you don't stop, if you don't, this is not helping.
That's not helping her get to her second person.
Les Brown, he's a motivational speaker.
Mm-hmm. I've seen I've listened to some of his speeches on YouTube. Yeah. Like it's like morning inspiration type thing. Yes. Yeah.
Because if you at least reach for the stars and you fall, make sure you land on your... Oh, no. It's like if you're reaching for the stars and you fall, make sure you land on your back, because if you can look up, you can get up. Huh? Yeah. That's my dude. Okay. So, I said a lot of guys, so let me talk about one of the women.
Hey, if you influenced by dudes, it's fine.
I know. I just want to be like well-rounded too. Trying to think what things.
We just talked about being you. So if you influenced by guys.
Yeah, I understand.
Things happen.
But there are ladies too that are pretty
amazing.
Me? This girl.
She's influenced by me.
I mean, obviously I'm influenced by you. I'm in front of the camera having this weird combo. No.
This is not a weird combo. This is an open and honest and very free space.
But the problem is it's for permanent record.
So are the podcasts.
I know.
So if we would have did a podcast, it still would have been permanent record. But who's the third person? We ain't never say. She thought I forgot. She always do that. She think I be forgetting. But I bring it back. Bring it back. Hey.
This girl. Let's see. Who?
My drink is gone.
Oh,
I'm sad. I'm sad.
I just feel like I'm just like drawing a blank. That's what happens.
That's fine. We can accept two.
I was like, yeah, because it's like three.
We're gonna accept. How do you feel about the labels in the community? Because I know some people don't like to be. They like to be non-binary. Some people just don't like labels. Period. Doesn't matter if it's non-binary or whatever. They just don't like labels. They just be like, I am who I am type of thing. How do you feel about the labels? Because you've identified as bisexual. Do you accept that label, or is it just something to tell people, hey,
For me, the way I look at it is like labels, I think it should be based on the individual. Like some people, like having a label is helpful. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like some people, their labels help them, remember who they are, focus in, all that. Other people, labels are more of a constraint, so they're not freeing, they're not helpful. It just feels like you're being like tied down. So I think it should be on the individual. Personally, for me, I'm like, I don't really know why I need to say it, but I was like, obviously, if I'm moving through my life, it just generally comes up if I'm with one sex or the other. And sometimes they'll ask, have you ever been with, in those conversations. That's the only time it really comes up.
Okay.
But
so you don't care either way? Mm-mm. It is what it is.
Because I'm going to do what I want. Yeah, just like if there's people in the community that come for me, I'm going to do what I want. I was like...
You can't be crying out that other people bullying you and then bully your own people. Don't do that. The devil is a lie. I don't care who you are. Let people be themselves, okay? Don't be coming on here in my comments with that bull crap either. Okay? Like I tell y'all on the podcast, I am not the one or the two. Just saying. Just saying.
I'm still in that.
What is one myth about the community that you want to debunk? Like, what is one myth within the community? You said a couple earlier. Mm-hmm. But can you elaborate on?
Weirdly enough, this is gonna sound really weird.
Oh.
I would say my biggest myth I think about it, as far as like the community now, because a lot of people are more educated. So, you know, they are aware of, you know, the whole gay, lesbian, whatever. Mm-hmm. It's like, all right, now you need to treat us as individuals.
Yeah.
Like diversity. Like, just because I like women doesn't mean that I'm going to act like every other woman who likes women.
Yeah.
That's crazy. We're not the same people. Sometimes we're not the same race. Sometimes we're not the same age. We're not from the same generation. We don't do the same job. We don't have the same education. Why would my
feeling
look like hers?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like in every, you know, like every, you know, part of the alphabet, there is always like, oh, well, this is what I imagine a gay woman is like. This is what I imagine a bisexual is like. And it's just like, that's so...
They put you in a box.
Exactly. And the whole point of Pride is so we don't have to be in one. So it's like, why would you jump right back in one? And there's been a lot of talk about that in the community as well.
Yeah. Okay. How do you feel, and this is like going deep, okay? And I've had this conversation. Oh, sorry. Ice. Not good. Don't do this. But I've had this conversation with friends, and I have my feeling about it, and I'll tell you after you tell me yours. But how do you feel about teaching kids about the community at a young age?
I guess I'll use how I grew up. I knew to a degree that there were, you know, people, you know, they use like childlike terms because I was a kid. Mm-hmm. You know, boys that like boys and girls that like girls. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the way that my parents are, they were all inclusive. They were just saying these people are going to be different, but that doesn't mean that you treat them different. Mm-hmm. They're just not like you, just like you're not like this person. And I'll use like an example, you know. I think you should educate your kid in the method that makes them the most suitable to be able to operate in the world. Okay. Some people think that it's best not to say anything. And I'm like, you know, that's your choice. I think you should, you know, at least tell them that these things exist, because you don't know if your kid may or may not. You don't know. Yeah. But I mean, I feel like it should be age appropriate, and I feel like you as a parent should know when your kid is ready to start learning about all that stuff. But the one thing I would say is I would teach it together. Like, I would teach them, if I'm going to talk about, you know, the birds and the bees, I'm going to talk about the birds and the bees and the bees at the same time, so they understand that this is all a part of life. Like, it's not this abnormality that you learn about years later. Mm-hmm. And you're like, why would people do that?
Yeah, I was saying when it was a children's book.
I heard about, there's been a couple.
That's saying that you need to teach your kids. And these children's books are for kids that are in third and under grades. Maybe even lower than that. And I'm just like, I feel my own personal feelings. I feel like you should not teach that to your child until they understand, until they have the capacity in their mind to really understand themselves. I said, I feel like kids are too young to process these words. Until they express their own interests, this should not be taught until they're able to understand their own sexuality. So when they start to express, like, when they have some feelings towards sex, I kind of feel like that is around the time they understand who they're attracted to as well. I feel like that because they'll be like around, I want to say even my nephew, he's 5. I feel like he knows what he likes.
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to counter that because I was a late bloomer in every sense of the word. So for me, you would not have known until I was like 17. Okay. So,
but I feel like what the part or the kid should start to feel like, hey, I'm curious. Until they're able to process these words, be like, I have questions, basically. I'm coming to you because I have questions. At 5, they ain't think about that. They think about going outside playing or on these kids today with this damn technology. These kids today, I was like, I heard some stuff. I was like, baby, what? So these kids today ain't really worried about that.
Yeah, I mean, to me personally, I feel like you should be in tune with your kid enough to know when you need to have that conversation.
Yeah.
Personally.
But I feel like at 4 and 3.
I don't think anybody should dictate to anybody how to do damn near everything that has to do with their life. Personal life. That's like the whole point. It's like, stop telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Why don't you sit there and make a book, provide the information, and let people choose?
Yeah, I don't understand that. Why are you making it so, oh, you need to give these kids this book so they can learn? What? Who are you? Like, maybe my baby ain't ready to process this information. Okay?
Right.
Maybe they worried about the backyardigans or something. I don't know.
Coco Melon is that jam.
I guess. But
The
Backyardigans song has been on TikTok like crazy. Into the thick of it. Into the thick of it. Yeah. So
let me just say something right here. I'm gonna just go ahead and plug the Backyardigans. They be riding. Like the Backyardigans,
I used to watch that show, and I'm an adult without kids. So
I remember I would go to people's houses that had children, and it was on. I was like, wait, I caught that beat. Bring that back.
Dum, 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 hey, dum, dum, hey.
All right, we better stop for me. Yeah. Copyright striking this bitch. Like, oh, you like the Backyardigans? Cool. We do too. That's why we own it.
Lord. So, Lord. Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't do it exactly how she wanted it, but I know she misses that. If you were in my shoes, what questions would you have asked yourself that I didn't? Do you feel like I covered all that you feel like people should know? I
mean, really, yeah, because the type of person that I am, the way that I'm built, I'm like, if you don't like it, you don't understand, that's cool. Mind your fucking business. Because at the end of the day, who I'm smashing or not smashing has nothing to do with you. And that's how I look at it in other people's lives. When I go meet somebody, they're meeting me, Crystal. They're not meeting Crystal, the bisexual. You know, I'm not a joke. I'm a regular ass person with bills and
0 cents. $0 to mind your business.
That's weird. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't meet people and go, oh my gosh, I need to know what your sexual orientation is. You're like, is she fucking weird? You know what I mean? Like, or is he intelligent enough to follow this conversation? Do they cook? Do they know where all the good food is? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are the things you think about when you meet people. I think
about food.
All day, every day.
You know what I'm saying? I'm still thinking about going to get some food. It's 8 o'clock. And I'm trying to figure out if I want to go get some food. Because I be hungry.
Yeah.
All the time. I might steal Crystal. And we might go to get some elote.
Elote?
Yeah. Yeah. Girl, when I tell you it is. And it's Friday. It's the special. We got to go. Listen.
We're out.
And on that note, let me know in the comments your experience, if you've come out, if you have nowhere to turn to, you can always turn to us. More so Crystal, because she's more insightful with that situation, so she might be able to better answer questions. I'll leave the email to our podcast down below, so you can ask Crystal, you can ask me, whatever you want to, but I will leave that down in the description bar below, so you have, if you need to. If you feel like you can't go to anybody else, this is a free space. That's all I'm saying. Go to the email, go to our website, and like I said, all of this will be listed below.
But that website is lbccpod.com.
LadyBabyCatCatPod.com.
That's right.
Just saying. You know what I'm saying?
Email is lbcc.inbox@gmail.com.
It's still LadyBabyCatCat.
.inbox
@gmail.com.
Because we brand. Out here. Branding. It's a thing. What?
I want to thank you all for coming to my first in my series of just interviews with great people in my life that I consider great people that can give insightfulness to any subject that I bring to them. And I always choose the perfect people. And with that being said, it's your girl Lette.
And Crystal.
And I'm out. Peace.